That's where we're at, folks. Parallel tolerance. Let me give you this update because everybody's freaking out. The trade talk situation has escalated, and did Trump escalate it? No. It's not correct to look at it that way. It's just not correct to look at it that way. You could say that China escalated it by not making a better deal. So who escalated it? The facts need to be clarified, and so here's my quick report out for the day. You know, the news is going crazy. The new 200 billion of tariffs has kicked in, etc. The new 200 billion of tariffs are on products that affect a very, very, very low percentage of people's daily budgets. That's not the issue. The issue is whether things escalate from here and how they escalate via China's retaliation, etc., etc., etc. At the root, I am going to suggest that everyone needs to understand that this needs to be how President Trump originally set it up to be, which is an economic issue. There is no question. I don't. If anyone wants to come to me and say, no, that's not true, and make their argument, go ahead. But there is no such argument, which is that Trump was 100% correct. You could disagree with him about many other things, but he was 100% correct that it was very important to level the economic and trade playing field with China. China has gotten away with a lot of fantastic deals over the last 20 years. I think, like any good business negotiator would, they took advantage of every great deal that they would, should, and could, and I think anyone in their position would do the same. If you came to me and offered me your 5-year-old Mercedes Benz that was worth $50,000, and you said to me, hey, I want to make you a great deal, I'll give it to you for $15,000, and then you do this for me and you do that for me, and I'll do this for you and I'll do that for you. Great, here's my $15,000. I mean, so if you want to play the blame game, blame all the corporatists back in America who sold America down the river. They sold American jobs down the river, etc. I'm not going to start preaching about that. We know what happened, okay? The American corporatists exported pollution. They exported it to China. All the manufacturing, they sent it to China, and more importantly, they didn't do it because they did it because of that, but they did it because of money. They exported the jobs. So instead of paying American workers, $16 an hour and dealing with this and that, it's like, wait a minute, whoa, we can build a factory, one-time expense overseas, and China and other countries will, third world countries will pay those workers a lot less. We can make a lot more money. Bottom line, that's what they did. And they destroyed the American middle class economy along the way. Okay. So Trump was 100% correct in his position that the playing field of economics and trade between America and China should be leveled and needed to be leveled, which means you go back to the negotiating table and say, hey, these current deals that we have in place, they need to be renegotiated. That's what Donald Trump did. Okay. And I've been here in China for 20 years. I know how Chinese negotiate. I'm not saying a bad thing. I'm just saying reality. Okay, they are tough negotiators. They will push the extra hairline and push the extra hairline. The classic story about Chinese negotiation, American negotiation style, is that we agree on these 5 points. Yes, we do, Mr. George and Mr. Wong. We agree on these 5 points. Yes, we do, Mr. George and Mr. Wong. Great. And we write up those 5 points and those 5 points, and we both sign it, and we're done. We've just agreed, and we're done. And we're done. And we move forward on the basis of those 5 points. Now, it's kind of cute because in America, they say that that's true, but it's not really true. Because in America, there's always the legal phrase that says the mutual parties may add an addendum to this or any modifications to this and issue it as an addendum, right? Which means we can change the contract anytime. Okay, so actually it's not true, but it's that basis of supposed wonderful transparency in the West that business people come to count on. And there's a different way of thinking about things in China. In China, when you sign an agreement, to the Chinese, often that's the beginning, that's where, oh, we agree on these basic things? Yeah, we do. Great. And we sign the agreement, and then you're ready to go, and then you get the phone call saying, so now here's what we're thinking we want to do. And this and this and this and that. I said, well, wait a minute, we just signed an agreement. Well, no, but these other things over here now, we have to discuss those. So in the Chinese negotiator's mind, business person's mind, one agreement is about one set of things, and then that just is now the beginning of continuing to negotiate. Wow, no kidding. Yes, no kidding. So we all understand this. We've heard this 1,000 times. We teach this to people here in China in training programs about negotiations. Okay, once you sign the contract, negotiations begin. Wow, jeez. So, a different way of thinking. And there's no question about it that the Chinese are tough. They'll change the deal. As is said in English, you know, they'll keep moving the goalpost. Again, they're not the only ones that do it, but they do it, and they're tough. They're really, really tough. Okay? So, here we are. Where are we going next? Do you think I'm going to tell you here's where we're going next? Really? Okay? Please. I hope no guru tells you where we're going next. Okay? Because what I just read in 3-4 of the top analysis of the top gurus said, what we know is that we have no idea what the next steps are going to be. Right. So here's the scenarios, but we have no idea where we're going from here. So all I'm going to say to you is, hopefully, it's not going to get too bad. But we're on the basis of President Trump is correct. The economic and trade playing field between the United States and China needs to be leveled. He's 100% right about that. Okay, next point. Here it is. Parallel tolerance. Okay. I'm proud to be the first person on planet Earth to coin the phrase, and it perfectly defines what I've been saying for months, what many and now other analysts have been saying for months as well. But the fact of the matter is that with China initiating the BRI, the Belt and Road Initiative, they made it very, very clear they're going to do their thing, with or without the United States cooperation. They've been developing the African continent for 20 years. That's not a new thing, folks. They haven't been doing that for 2.5 years or 6 years. It started 20 years ago. And the same thing is the case with South America. So, parallel worlds. Parallel economic and societal worlds. One led by the United States, the old traditional, and anyone who doesn't want to play ball with China for whatever reasons, they don't need to, whatever the reasons are, okay, they're going to stay over here where they are with the United States for the most part. Okay? And China is coming up. How many more years is going to be before China's GDP exceeds the United States? Not more than 5. And that's not in purchasing power terms. That's in pure straight dollar terms. Maybe 5 more years. Okay, so I get it. Western countries, including many people in charge in the United States, are freaking out. They should be. I get that part. They should be. Okay, so China's now going out across the world, and they're going to accomplish in 20 years what it took the European continent, the European countries, 300 years to accomplish, or 200 years, post-Renaissance, and then the European expansion all across the world, the European hegemony. Yes, the sun never sets over Britain. Remember that? Okay, so that's what China's doing now, except in today's world, it's going to happen in no more than another, it's happening already, but no more than another 10 to 20 years. So China's creating their parallel world, okay? And it's also in line with their ideological thinking as government goes, okay? And you still got the United States over here. Now, the problem with the United States-led bloc is that it's not stable. You see what I mean? So here you have China, a very stable economic and societal bloc. The society here is harmonious, stable, safe. It's one of the defining characteristics here, that this is not a divided society, okay? Singapore is not a divided society. Japan is not a divided society. But more and more over in Europe, Germany is becoming a divided society. The Nordic countries, Sweden, everyone's arguing about immigration and the influence of too much extreme Islam and terrorism and all of these kinds of issues. Or Italy, okay, Spain, whichever side of them you're on, just they're all becoming divided countries. And this is no more the case than America, which is a divided country. China is not a divided country. Wow. That homogeneity and harmony, there's something to be said for that, and the stability and the safety that comes with that. Okay? So now that country, and they have tons of money, is going out across the world, okay, the Belt and Road Initiative, the new digital and tech Silk Road, and they're going to take their place in the world, and they're going to rise up, and it's unstoppable. And it's happening at a time when the U.S. is unstable. Societal culture war is over there. Well, you've seen some of my other videos. It's pathetic. It's sad. It's scary. It's really, really unfortunate. Okay, we're not in this video to talk about that. That's it. That's where we are, folks. Okay, so we'll talk to you later. See ya. Tough days. Tough days. We'll see where it goes. Keep an eye on it. That's the best I can say to you right now.